Welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright Jr., your go-to wellness coaches of www.stressfreenow.info. Our featured guest today is June Davidson. June is a dear friend who I've known for over 10 years. She's also our coach and featured on our website's Luminaries page. June is a Master Certified Action Coach, a certified seminar leader, trainer, public speaker, and author. She's also the president of the American Seminar Leaders Association, one of the fastest-growing national training and certification programs for coaches, seminar leaders, and authors. June, we are so pleased to have you on our broadcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Christine. And I can't tell you what an honor and a pleasure it is for me to be here with you. I've been waiting for this. It's just awesome, and I thank you so much.
Thank you, June, for joining us today. We have a series of questions we'd like to go over with you that we feel that will be helpful to our audience. June, can you tell our audience about your company, ASLA, and the coach certification training that you offer?
Yes, Bob. American Seminar Leaders Association is actually a company that's over 20 years old, and we started and have an unusual business of training. It's not like taking something into a class and not coming out with what you need, because we teach in an accelerated method, and you do the work in the class, you get to where you need to be in the seminar business, and then the coaching was added to that at a later time. Because when a person does seminars, one of the best upsells for the seminar leader is that of books, that of coaching, that of consulting. So I personally designed and wrote the courses for the international coaching firm, which is a part of American Seminar Leaders.
Excellent. Thank you, June. When we trained with you in California, you laid out the importance of doing a process called ATAP in its entirety. Can you explain for our audience how undergoing the ATAP process can be beneficial and how long it takes?
Yes. ATAP means accessing your truth to accelerate your process. In order for a coach to work with you and be able to excel and move you forward, they need to know a little bit about your history. Now, this is not therapy when we take you through the past. It is only accessing your truth and being able to pinpoint your truths to accelerate a process. The reason for that is the mystery is in your history. So what is it that's in your history that's holding you back today from excelling as the person you were born in life to be? And the voices that come from your past that are negative are the ones that you hold on to. So as we take you through life, we start even explaining to you from the time a baby is born. Now we know even before they are born, they are intaking things within the tissue of the child itself. So the two things that a child is really fearful of are loud noises and the fear of falling when they're born. So even if the child does not know any words, which they don't yet, it still comes in the form of a loud noise. So if they've got a lot of arguing going on around them, there is violence going on around them, it is taken into the child's being. And the child, up until the age of 5, all of this is going on, and there are many mixed messages. And you and Christine have heard me say this. It's like this. The parents have, especially the first child, they can't wait, so they keep saying to the little baby, say mommy, say daddy, to get the baby to talk. And then when the baby can stand up and start to walk, they want to see the baby walk, so they're doing all of this encouragement and just delighted. All of a sudden, when the child reaches 2 and 3, they hear sit down and shut up. So mixed messages are within the being, and it will stop your progress. So we take you back through the past not only around the family, but the family is the strongest of all in raising the child and the being of the child itself that stays with it the rest of the life. Then you go into the teachers. Then you go into the church, the religion. You go in your peers. Everything goes into, I call it your long-term filing cabinet, which is your hippocampus. And then it goes through the emotions of the amygdala in the brain, which you swallow the poison of the past. So we take you through the A-tapping process only to accelerate for you. It's not therapy. We don't keep you there. We only do it as an identity, and we do it as a remembrance from you. And I will say something about one book that was very powerful for me was Stephen King said that go back into life and see at what age you can remember your entire home, where things are, and even some of the things that happened. But he says sometimes it's in the non-remembering that is the most difficult of all. When he realized he could not remember a thing that was in his bedroom, and of course his parents by then were deceased, he called his older brother. The older brother said, when he came with the solution, was, no problem, we used to fight in the room and I beat you up all the time. So you see, we swallow the most difficult things in our past and we don't want to remember them. So I tell everybody if that happens, just know that it was too traumatic, so we move on not knowing the words but still doing a clearing or acknowledging it. So that's the ATAP, accessing your truth to accelerate your process.
June, I like to say that, you know, when I first heard that from you, the admiration that I had that you put this system together, that you recognized what a person goes through in life, and you systematize these things with these words and with these processes to look at what we hear as children, what we experience in our family, that it affects us throughout our life. I know certainly myself as a teacher, when I worked with young children from a very, very young age, in pre-kindergarten and kindergarten at 3, 4, 5 years old, that the children are absorbing information, but they may not have the words to process it, but it's in their body. And certainly when I studied ideokinesis later in life, one of the things that my mentor and teacher, Andre Bernard, had said to me is that the memory is in our body. It's in our muscles.
Yes.
And you have found a way to give voice to that through the ATAP process when you're working with your clients. So this is just an extraordinary gift for people to realize that something that happened to them in their early life is still affecting how they're behaving in the present.
It's not who they are, it is what has been put into them and not being able to recognize it. And Christine, you're so right when you see that in the children. And it is the mysteries in the history, and their issues are in their tissues. It is in the being of the person.
And I also think it's very valuable, you know, I think there's still people who may be confused about the difference of coaching and therapy, that even with this ATAP process, this is not therapy. This is getting you to live your true self and your true dream by clearing what may still be tied up in your system.
Correct. Absolutely. That's a wonderful explanation of it. Because once you can identify it, and it's amazing, Christine and Bob, how you can identify this, and an excellent coach that we train will recognize it, and we've spoken of this in the vibrations, not in the words. Because the words do not carry the power. The vibrations of the person saying the words carries the power. So the coach listens beneath the words when they're trained in this method. And when we ask you a question, what was it you remembered about your teacher? The first thing that comes up in the mind that we ask in the remembrance, you will remember the negative much quicker than you will remember the positive because of the emotions carried around it. So that is what we're looking for, so that we can eliminate the negative in the process of the coaching.
Well, there was also something that you told me that was very, very valuable in our coaching, that the same word can have a different meaning to different people depending on your experience of that word.
Yes, yes, and it does. You know, say, see the big cat. Somebody could see a tiger. Somebody could see, a big pussycat, which is the cuddly kind. So people will put different visions, different emotions around the same big cat. Who and what you are that you bring into, I call it, as you know, the theater of your mind, which is a wonderful place to play when you clear it and you are center stage in your own theater.
June, before we go on, I've been remiss. I would like you to tell our audience a little bit about yourself, how you came to be a coach, and how you came to the wonderful place in life where you are, where your famous phrase is live, that is the wisdom that when I asked you the question, well, June, in your life experience, what is the most important lesson that you have learned? And you used the phrase live in the present moment and appreciate your blessings. Can you talk a little bit about that so that our audience knows a little bit more about you and why we are so excited to have you today?
Thank you so much for asking. And yes, it is in the word live. And it's every day. Of course, we aren't at our full energy some days if we don't feel up to it. But I always say, the good Lord brings up the sun, but he does a much better job when I'm there watching and helping him. So if a person is really in the presence of what's happening around them, even by themselves, they pick up the energy. I hear my birds outside. I love to live out in nature because it regenerates my feelings and my spirit. So I pick up my surroundings, and in so doing, I take it within my being, which sets the stage for my day. So if you can live in the moment and just be aware of the beauty around you, even if you're in a place that is negative to you and you can see the poverty, you need to sort of clear and look at what you can do to help the people. Look at what you can do to change the world. So when you see what you can do to change the world, then it becomes like a pleasure to help other people. And as you know, I have like an open door policy because even the animals that come on the trail, they're so important to me because it's a part of the living life, and being in that present moment is the most important to me.
Thank you so much, June. Audience, we'll be back in a moment on Learn to Live Stress-Free. We're speaking today with June Davidson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Wright, Jr., the Stress Relief Doctor, co-host of the Learn to Live Stress-Free podcast series. I'm an author, speaker, and stress management wellness coach. My published study is the first to show the connection between stress reduction, grief recovery, nitric oxide spiking, and the relaxation response. And my practical application of this knowledge helps you relieve the stresses of everyday life. I have the tools to dissolve your pain points quickly and effectively. Email me to find out how you can start to feel better now at stressfreenow.info/contact. That's stressfreenow.info/contact. Have you been procrastinating about completing an important project or pursuing a treasured dream? Christine Wright specializes in helping her coaching clients to lay out clear, elegant strategies. She shows you how to quickly build your confidence to uncover and eliminate your habitual patterns of resistance and self-sabotage. Christine helps you discover those meaningful insights that will get you to do what works so you can celebrate your successes. Go to stressfreenow.info/contact to let Christine know that you're ready to live your ideal life now. Again, that's stressfreenow.info/contact.
Welcome back to Learn to Live Stress-Free. Dr. Bob continues our conversation with June Davidson.
So, June, can you just give a little bit more detail in terms of how you came to be a coach and how coaching became a passion for you?
Yes, it was tied in again when we were doing the American Seminar Leaders Training is what can you do to increase your products and your income at what we call the BOR, the back of the room sales. Realizing this is before coaching became really the big thing, is that adding that, if you're giving a seminar regarding, say, as Christine will be doing for raising the children, the pattern of that, boy, those parents need the coaching, because they're there in a seminar for a short while and you want to continue with them because you know you can help them. So therefore I realized that what we needed was to then train the seminar leaders to become coaches to enhance their business and stay in a small niche. I always say, Bob, who gets paid more money? A general practitioner or a cardiovascular surgeon? So, of course, the surgeon gets paid more money. So we niche you down to a narrow niche, which is where your talent is. Therefore, I started studying coaching. I couldn't get enough of it. I remember that one of my friends and I went to New York for Dr. Suzanne Skiffington. She was coming in from Australia. However, by the time the course was done and they had sent ahead of time her books and her material, awesome individual, she had passed away there in Australia, so it was her team that came over. But I just absorbed. I would be wherever the coaching was, and then it is like I sit on my porch and it starts to download inside me, and I can't write enough. So I start writing the Certified Action course, and in it became the ATAP and the brain pattern interrupt to shift from negative to positive. So I say I sit on the porch and I just download it, and you can do the same thing.
Well, yes, I find that coaching, being the client in coaching or being the coach is a very special, supportive type of environment that certainly working with you, I have met just many wonderful people who are entrepreneurs, who are living in their truth, and who are contributing in the way that they want to contribute and are able to collaborate with so many other people who are helping people to work through step by step to whatever that final product is that they want to create.
And what a blessing, right, Christine?
Absolutely, it's a very great blessing.
Yes.
June, since we are nearing the close of our time shortly, I just want to get this in. As you are aware, I use your brain pattern interrupt technique, or BPI, as part of my research study to confirm and validate the removal of grief memories surrounding the death of my mother. Would you share the essence of BPI with our audience and how and why it works to shift and neutralize painful memories?
Well, thank you very much, Bob. And I want to thank you again openly about this for putting this in your thesis and your dissertation, because it was an honor to me, and I'm still amazed and pleased that something like this has been brought forward. It is what I have done and developed to interrupt the brain. We know that you cannot hold a negative and a positive thought at the same time. So we create a personal pattern with the person that we're training as a coach, and they're trained to use this method. So we interrupt the brain because it's in the awareness state that you're all of a sudden swallowing the poison of your past, and where you had the trauma with your mother and had not even addressed it, these issues are still coming up, and they're stopping you from being who you are, because it is what has been put in you. So we built together a pattern that is individualized and customized for the person that we're working. When we take them through the ATAP, then we create the pattern of interrupt, and then we put them on the pattern of interrupt for a period of time so that they can truly address all of the negative issues for the clearing. And when they complete and have total control, and that you're the only one playing center stage in your theater, now then you can plan to put those things in that Bob and Christine and other people are here on the face of earth to do. Before then, you're living what somebody else has told you you are, because that's what's still within you. And as we said before, it's the negative that comes up.
Let me ask you this, because as you know, I am enthralled with your BPI technique. Can you just tell our audience very briefly why the BPI works and how the power of our olfactory sense is so powerful? I know when you first introduced it to me, I thought because it was so simple that, well, this couldn't work, because we are taught that the more complex things are, the more likely they are to work. And so when we come across something very eloquently simple, such as your BPI, the power of it is startling. So I just want, I was listening to you, and I was wondering if our audience really could grasp the essence of what your BPI is, how it uses the sense of smell. So could you just talk about why smell is so powerful in the brain in terms of changing negative valence memories?
Thank you, Bob. Yes, because the first thing and the easiest thing to access through the brain pattern is that of smell. Each of you will remember, you can walk back in a house and you can smell something, and it'll take you back to perhaps the seasons of the year, which are most of the time very pleasurable for you. You can also access smells that are very negative for you. In order for us to get rid of the negativity that is in your system, we must quickly access the smell that is negative for you. Most people can do this very easily, unless you're dealing with somebody, which I have done in the past, that did not have any sense of smell. So then we went to sound, because sound is the second thing in the system that you can access. But because you can access the smell so quickly, and you can release it quickly and go to another smell. You don't have to go to another smell, Bob, but you have to go to something that's very happy for you. So you shift by accessing the smell quickly and processing to put a positive thought in. So you're interrupting the brain as it is coming in with negative thoughts into the theater of your mind, and you're using the sense of smell because it is the easiest to access. So the pattern is worked around that and then cleared by shifting into something that is so pleasurable and holding that thought while you're in the clearing states.
Well, June, I have to tell you, like Bob, I was very pleasantly surprised with how powerful and how simple it was to learn and to use the BPI and to continue using it when I get stuck in a negative memory loop or a negative feeling state.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the perfect technique and, just completely unique to you and to your training. Now, June, as we're coming to the close of our program, I would like you to let us know, because you are, I think, one of the most dynamic, energetic, and active people I know on the entire planet. Your energy and your enthusiasm is just completely contagious. You offer trainings and workshops all year round. What is your next upcoming project and event?
The next upcoming event will be the Certified Seminar Leading, which is 3 days, held on the Fuller campus in Pasadena. And I am starting the Certified Action Coaching class, which is a year-long class, but this one can be done online and on a live line like we're doing right now. So that will be available, and I will have, not only will I be leading the main part of it, but I have other coaches that have been doing the same training under me for years. So you will experience 3 other top trainers that I have trained. So you get an experience of it, and you start coaching as an intern coach. So that it happens very quickly through the process that we're doing, but we stay together for a year because I don't believe you can take a 3-day coaching class and become a coach.
I agree with you there, June. I think one of the things that I've seen is that certain things today can be short-term. And being with someone over a longer period of time is a true apprenticeship, is a true mentoring experience, and that is when you can really internalize and master the process. Mm-hmm. So you definitely are a master in many ways, and you are just such a loving and giving person. And also, all the further details from your program, I just want to let everyone know, can be seen on your website, www.asla.com, and you have all the details of your program, plus I believe you also have videos and other products that will be helpful to our audience.
Yes, thank you, Christine. Thank you so much, and thank you, Bob, so much. It has been indeed my pleasure to be here with you this morning.
Thank you, June.
June, what would you like our audience to take away from today's program? What would be the one thing, if they just remembered one thing that you said that they could do when they finish listening to this call that would be life-changing and improve the quality of their lives?
Oh, what I would like to ask them to do immediately as they hear this and they're finished, I would like for them to stand up very tall, just like you have a string at the top of your head holding you up. And I would like for them to visualize the energy on Mother Earth ground, and if they can step out on that, is the energy that comes through the body, and the grounding part is where it starts in the feet, and it is just an awesome exercise that you can feel coming through your entire body. Bring it all the way up in the entire body and feel it flow out of the top of the head, because your energy is 6 inches at least outside your body. So it's just a re-energizing of your energy, and wherever you are when you hear this, just ground yourself and feel the energy coming in through your body. Just feel it and take it right out the top of your head and protect yourself and your energy field.
That's lovely, June. I felt that as I listened to you describe that process. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, June, and I have to agree that I know that I felt and had a different awareness through listening to you, and I am hopeful that our audience will get a lot out of listening to and processing the information you have delivered to them today. Our featured guest today has been June Davidson, the president of the American Seminar Leaders Association. Thank you for listening. Wherever you are, in whatever time zone you're in right now, we appreciate your presence and trust that you'll benefit in some way from the information delivered during today's show. We welcome and look forward to receiving your comments about our show. Please let us know if there are additional topics you'd like us to cover or a guest you enjoyed whom you'd like us to invite back. Please contact us through our website with your feedback and suggestions. Remember, listeners, if you'd like to experience the same benefits our coaching clients get with us, including learning how to get more results in your day and easy ways to dissolve your chronic pain, stress, and anxiety, then give us a call at 954-900-2179. That's 954-900-2179. For Christine Wright, this is Dr. Robert Wright, Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info. Until next time, be safe and be well.